Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noob. Today I have with me Carrie.
Hey guys, what's up? Looking forward to this one.
Yep, and well, just to make it clear, in case you didn't recognize it, I'm at my parents' house at the moment. So if you hear the dogs barking and everything, that's what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna be going over a lot of the Venom Mini Series, starting with Lethal Protector. This one is well, basically Venom. They were never sure if he could be able to do an ongoing, especially since they weren't sure how long this lethal anti-hero side was going to last. So they decided to do it
Right.
all a bunch of miniseries that would last throughout the entire 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, starting with David and Miss Michelini and Mark Bagley and Ron Lim would come in and give us Lethal Protector, which started off. Now, do you know the context of why Venom became a Lethal Protector?
No.
Basically, in one of the other Spider-Man books, I forget which one it was, but it was around the time for one of his big anniversaries. Venom and Spidey had saved Eddie's ex-wife, and because of that, he soon realized all this time, like, if Spider-Man's dead, he can't save any more innocents. Yeah, reminding you how simple-minded Eddie was.
Yeah.
So they decided,
Yeah.
you don't come after me, and I don't come after you.
Right.
So that's what this leads to when he goes to San Francisco. And Ruby, knock it off! Dogs.
She wants to be the
Ruby!
star of the show.
She wants to star in it. She wishes. Come on, Ruby. You're not going out. The other dog has hurt herself, so I'm not going to just let her outside while the other one's like, hey, why don't I go out?
Yeah, I know. They all have to do it
Dog.
together.
Yep, but a great cover, though. Classic cover.
Yes.
Very classic. Guest starring Spider Man. And look at him right here. Oh, man.
I miss those.
I
I
miss
miss
those
those
too.
little.
When they didn't do them all the time, but when they did do them, they were fantastic. So yeah. And we actually have an opening with an intro by Danny Fingeroff, the editor. You now hold in your hand the awesome Venom Lethal Protector Special Gold Edition. While there's only 1,000,000 copies of the regular premiere edition, this one is limited to 11,000. I did not know this.
Oh wow.
Interesting. Oh, and Stan Lee did it. Yeah, this is remember Stan used to always just do a intro, even though he had no idea who the character was. Let's be honest. There's no way in hell Stan knew who the hell Venom was, did he?
Exactly.
But yeah, we open up and with a woman being mugged, and of course, like maybe I'll have to pay some other way. That scare ya? Good. I always like seeing fear in my victims' eyes. What a coincidence! So do we. Like you're despicable, you and all your kind, and preying on the defenseless, bringing nothing but misery, pain, death. You make us sick. What are you? It's over. Now you'll be nothing but decay, running in revolts of rot and corruption, mingling with the rest of the filth in the sewers of. Oh, forgive us. We're being rude. Hi, we're Venom. Here, you're safe now. Bup, bup, bup. No, please, there's no need to save us. Your joy is a reward enough and sends me leaping happily on my way. Aye! This is so laughable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, is he serious? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna let her out just for a moment.
Okay.
Can you go outside and go bathroom, girls? Is that it? Hey, girl. It's okay, girl. It's okay. Well, that's better anyway. You can barely hear that barking. But yeah, what did you think about that opening right there? You're just like,
It's very Deadpool.
Before Deadpool was even a major thing.
Exactly.
At least the Joe Kelly Deadpool. But yeah, yes, we agree. Protecting innocence is satisfying indeed. After all, we were innocent once before that vile Spider-Man shattered our lives. You, my alien friend, were rejected. We get a summary of everything. And of course, the whole I did nothing wrong. It was all Spider Man, even though I didn't check my sources with the
Yeah.
Sin Eater. It's always been Spider Man. Blah, blah, blah. Wham, wham, wham. Oh, but I do like this, though, of course. We will survive. First things first, lodging. Of course, they see him. It's like, that looks like Eddie Brock to you. Hair's different, but I can't tell from here, but we better make sure before we call it in. And now the other one's barking. The guy's trying to, check in for it. They realize then it is Brock, and of course he's arrested for murder. Even here, no peace. We don't want to do this, and we know you're just doing your jobs, and fine jobs they are. This hurts us almost as much as it does you. Oh, and one other thing. Cancel that room. You bet. Buster, is that what it? Basically, a guy takes a photo realizing this is going to pay for our vacation. And sure. Hold on again. Violet, okay. Just wait here. I'm going to get her back in. Ruby! Ruby! Treat! If they'll shut you up, I'll give you a treat, okay? I'm keeping all this in just for a good laugh. But yeah, basically they see a bit about Venom, realizing that's where he went to, get a bit of a summary, naturally. A very good summary, though, nonetheless. Because it's very easy to summarize everything with Venom. It was in, 375 is what it was.
Okay.
So that was still far away from the Clone Saga. But this is around the time of the parents were alive, or were they? But yeah, basically Peter's deciding he's going to head over there. But then he sees some people being mugged. He goes in to stop them, and oh man, did you ever make a mistake? No, you did. And Peter makes it there pretty damn fast.
Mm-hmm.
What is the timeline of all this?
I know.
This is way too fast.
Of course, then they're minis, so it's like.
I know. All that talk about both of us protecting innocence was bull. You don't get their chance. This ends now. You shouldn't be here. We had an arrangement. We'll discuss your betrayal later. For the moment, there's something you should know about those gentlemen you refer to as peace officers. Aren't. Get them! So, whoopsie. So we realize, it's wrong, but then he heads off with those people. We then see this one guy here putting in a phone call. We see a photo of a young man. Squad leaders and Elkins, and squad leader Elkins, assemble your men. Target sighted. So yeah, it turns out he's been helped by those people we saved who are taking him deep underground. Of course, one of them feels like, are you crazy? He's Venom. He's crazy. And they're like, well, let the council decide. Turns out, before we find out more, we find they're attacked by these digger robots. Pretty awesome looking, aren't they?
Yes.
Yep. He puts up a good fight. One of them actually has these laser cutters. So of course, like, barbecue? I thought we were having fish. Never mind. Snack time's over. Let's play. So, and I look at this. He tries to actually slither in some of the symbiote in, but he gets knocked down and then slammed down until they fall. And then for a moment, you vindictive moron, look around you. This is bigger than your petty bloodlust. We didn't just fall through some rotted tunnel floor. Oh my God. We've fallen through time. Or did they? And it turns out they didn't. Mark Bagley's always been the best at doing symbiotes, hasn't he?
Yeah, I love this art. I miss this style of art so much.
Oh, wait till you see her later. Scream!
Yep, Scream.
This is when we're introduced.
Who, might I add, they totally did bad in the movie.
No. This is the other Scream. No, that's Shriek you're thinking of. You're thinking
Okay.
about Shriek. You're thinking about
Oh,
Shriek.
Shriek, right.
Shriek they did
Yeah,
wrong in the movie. Scream is the female symbiote. That's
right.
not She-Venom. But yeah, so next issue, I don't believe it. The freak with the living costume was right. We've fallen through time. Until they see the people from up above, realize, which means I'm still in the present. Man, I feel a whole lot better. Now, rips the arm right off because that bought him all the time he needs to recover. Other guy shows up. They see like on local police. No problemo. Damn! Murderer! He was only protecting his heart and protecting hearth and home. So let your fun punishment fit the crime. He dead. And since your partner made no attempt to prevent that heinous act, let him share the just retribution. Oh! Yeah, of course, they're trying to protect, to give him say like he helped us, he stopped them. We serve and protect, ma'am. Again, I like the levity here, but it's not full on farcical because it still fits Eddie. That's the thing about that's why I never liked when they did Venom secret and Dark Origins. I hated that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so basically they're trying to explain it turns out back in the Great Earthquake long ago, it actually leveled old San Francisco down underground
Oh, wow.
in perfect condition. That's where these people eventually someone stumbled upon it, and people who felt they weren't wanted up top have made their own living down there.
Nice.
I like that idea. Don't you?
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird, but it fits in a comic book sense, doesn't it?
it does. Especially
But
like
yeah,
in the
so
world they live in, they probably feel safer from everything upstairs.
yep. Ruby, no, hold on again. Ruby,
She wants to be the star.
knock it off. Mood. In all these years, he's never looked it up. Typical Peter, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
He's always got something more important to do, so he decides to look it up, and he soon finds about Carl on. In New York, I got a line on Venom by looking into Eddie Brock's past, but maybe by cross-referencing the local papers reference files I can. Well, what do you know? Dad. But I swear, if the old guy greets me with, I want to eat your brains, I'm going home. Okay, that's cute. Oh, but look at this. Look at the weirdness with the artwork here.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they do that. It's
Guess
like,
they're trying to
what?
make it look like it's on a black and white screen and it just comes out
No,
weird.
I'm talking about Spidey.
Oh.
The
The
dots.
big eyes.
No, the dots.
Oh.
As opposed to his normal webbing. It's like, what?
I get what you're saying, yeah. It's almost like like the screen is reflecting off his back in some weird way.
Yep. But yeah, so it's decided he is to leave because they feel he's more of a threat to them. Understandable. I understand.
Yeah.
Of course, the priests are like, he's a devil. We don't want him here. They're like, why don't we just kill them? Enough. We've all agreed he is to leave, and we have to trust that he will not reveal about us. To which Eddie does leave, and he soon thinks then maybe if we can help deal with the guy who's coming after them, they'll let me in. Yes, of course. I love it. Hey, Tommy, what's that
That'll
guy
go well.
doing? Geez, Autumn, that's no guy. That's Venom. Great again. Isn't that just amazing artwork still?
Yeah, it's all that like Todd McFarlane inspired.
Yep.
Like
But
with
yeah,
the
the fact
webbing.
that Eddie is so convinced that, oh yeah, things will go my way if I go after the guy.
And we all know it's probably gonna go really badly.
Perhaps. But yeah, so he comes up to say, am I addressing Carl and Brock? Yes. Eddie Brock's father. Okay. We then see Eddie sneaking his way inside until he finds this model where this trash guy is. Basically, he's trying to understand what their plans are. Why are they doing this digging? Someone sees them in there. They then see like he's there. Trail of slime led up right to him. We don't know if your employer is truly evil. I do like that as well. He's not going in assuming the guy's evil. He's at least considering, well, maybe this guy just doesn't know. Maybe if I tell him. Therefore, it may not be necessary to kill you. You may leave. Like, ammunition expensive. Here, why don't you use yours again? And as he throws the bullets all back at them. Now it's our turn. Of course, then, Mr. Brock, we have to talk. But yeah, so Eddie is still like, bye, more guard. How delightful. But we really think we've had enough fun for today. They head on out there until then he's starting to think about it. Like, we at least have a few more pieces. And Treese is up to no good. That much is certain. We need to discover his hidden motive. And then we can squash him like a spider. That's him. Do it. What? Boom! As we're introduced to that guy, Orwell Taylor. He's like, you killed my son. Now we, the jury, are going to kill you.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it? I'm so sorry the dogs are just butting in throughout all this.
That's all right. They're like, we want attention. We want attention.
Yep. So we find out, they have sonic weapons? Of course they do. Because the jury was designed to take him out. Oh! Look who with the colorist here.
Ah!
Current editor-in-chief. Current editor-in-chief at DC. But we find out, turns out Eddie had killed this guy, his son, in Amazing Spider-Man 315. The very first time he escaped after 300. That was the first time we saw him. Now, but of course, the guy we saw in that comic looked more like a dweeb. He had glasses on. This guy looks much more handsome and everything. But either way, Eddie killed him. We didn't want to hurt anyone. That's okay. This is the problem Michelini knew going into this. Eddie has killed. How can you take him and make him this anti-hero?
Exactly.
So unfortunately, you decided to have it be, well, just have it be that Eddie's constantly saying, we didn't mean to. So yeah. He's going to fight a bunch of them. And again, this is a big fight. And hot stuff. Chill out. I don't feel bad for this guy. Venom killed his son. He wants revenge. I don't blame him.
Right.
But then we see Trace is there with his main bodyguard as he's trying to figure out what was Venom doing, and he thinks, what if there's a next time? We then see and Peter is talking to Carl. He's like, you wear a mask, come in through the window, then expect me to sit down and chat? I've only this to say to you. Whatever relationship existed between Edward Brock and myself is no longer applicable. Oh yes, there is one other thing. Leave, or I'll have the police remove you. Oh swell, now that I'm now and now what? I'm no strong arm goon. Can't just beat it out of him. So we find out from the maid about everything. She even says, like, I'd be fired if he heard about it, but if it'll help poor Eddie, I'll tell you what you need to know. For the record, we get this backstory, but even Peter admits, this doesn't do him any good! Stop it! So yeah, the jury's caught up with him, leading to more of an attack on the road. Great action again. Mark Bagley's always been one of my favorites. Just look at him, just taking the Venom down. But then he gets out there by hiding underneath one of the trucks. They even say, like, they think he disappeared. But yeah, basically we find out that It's the usual story. Carl was in love with with this woman. She gave birth to Eddie. She died giving birth, and he became a much crueler. Now he always made sure that Eddie had the best health, the latest toys, but he never gave him affection, no matter what Eddie did.
Right.
Even when he would do show all of his grades. That's nice, Edward. Now why don't you go out and play? So I will at least give him prop. They didn't have it be he was physically abusive, although Johnny Cakes will later reveal he was.
Yeah.
And then even then, when it seemed like nothing he did ever impressed him until he was revealed Eddie was a hoax, and that made him be outraged and cut off from him. It's like, of course. Even at the peak of his career, when he was writing exclusive interviews with a confessed serial killer, word from Carl was rare and perfunctory. Then, when Eddie's sources was exposed as nothing but a prankster, Eddie was fired in disgrace, and communication between father and son ceased altogether. What a dick!
Yeah. Great dad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, understandable to a point. Like I said, at least he wasn't beating him initially. But he said, I wish I could, and you've been a big help. I wish I could believe that.
I know. It's like, it's not
Yep.
helping.
Yep, but it was clearly done for the sake of the story to make us feel more sorry for Eddie.
Yeah,
So,
it kind of felt a little out of place.
Right. So Eddie is jumping around when he gets attacked by another guy who works with the jury. And if by court he's like, and to avenge him, you condemn many to death. What do you mean? A colony of innocent street people are in danger, and we could be their only salvation. We see hesitation in your eyes, tension easing in your trigger fingers. Not much, but enough. So it gave him the few seconds he needed to recover. But then the jury come back to it. A sentry attacks him. He gets hit by a missile. He then said, "Hey, we're offering you sanctuary. Come on up here." Trace then says, "I will like to hire you as my new head of security. Does this give you a position and cover your park renovation project?" It does. Okay. They lead him to a location. It was a trap, and it turns out Trace is a board member of the Life Foundation.
Oh boy.
Yep. So, but you're like, okay, wait a second. So you have the jury who are now out of the story. You have Trace, and it turns out to Trace the Life Foundation, but they're not connected to Trace other than he's a board member. They're just throwing stuff at us, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. That's a lot.
Mean, yeah, but like I said, at least they make sure when they're done with one, it's done. You're like the jury, they're done for the story. But yeah, so now by this point, Ron Lim has taken over an artwork, and you can definitely tell by the much bulkier size of Venom.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
basically, yeah, they're pulling at him. They're basically removing one of his seeds, the spawn. And they think that this is his fifth and final one. Technically, if you count Carnage, wouldn't that make it 6? And he basically said, and if one had a taste for the melodramatic, one might call it the last son of Venom. Yeah, but it turns out Eddie can still have and Venom can still have other kids. Oh, I love this. When these guys are running away after nearly hitting a jogger, boo! Okay, so maybe I should leave the spooky stuff up to Ghost Rider. But webbing up the windshield is pure Spidey. I love when Spidey does stuff like that, like, boo!
And I was like, hello.
But yeah, then they're like, hey, is there any way we can help you? Now that you mention it, you mind if you loan me a quarter? So he calls up MJ, and oh boy, that 90s hairstyle! She looks almost like Starfire, doesn't she?
Yeah, the really curly red hair.
Yep. So basically, they're just catching up with each other. Again, Mickeling was definitely one of the guys who had a strong handling on the married Peter and MJ. I mean, obviously, this is the case where she's being MJ's worrying, but what's she going to do? He's in San Fran. She's in New York. Right. Not like she can do anything. But yeah, so Eddie is talking with the suit, and they're trying to figure a way to get out of there. But they soon also realize Sonic's only hurt the suit, not him. Now here comes a little bit of an art fiasco. You see this woman getting tossed. Like, who are you kidding, pal? Even if you really were Spider-Man, you wouldn't stand a chance against that. See that guy? And now look at him.
Oh.
What the? Right? Like, how'd that happen, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
well.
kind of like somebody forgot a page.
Yep, an honest to goodness superhero. Perfect. Breaking you in half will make our little exercise a complete success. Oh no, someone with a living costume who wants to kill me. It's deja vu all over again. But it turns out Eddie actually reaches in and grabs through. Why? Because remember, Eddie has Olympic level strength. Yeah, normally this thing would work on a normal human, but they set it too low. So he gets out free and furious and very hungry, bashing him around until he's knocked down. But that went nowhere. we check up with those underground people. The guy, that oily guy, is basically like, "Hey, you should be telling Venom stories to scare him into doing his chores. That guy's a monster. Blah blah blah. He's not a monster. Yada yada. We know this, the drill." But yeah, so Spidey's fighting up against this new girl, a new symbiote, and I was like, oh, it's her hair that's her symbiote stuff.
That's
But yeah,
cool,
so
though. I'm trying to remember her too much. I'm trying to remember
oh
the
yeah, she
character.
would be the one that would stick around even by recent stuff. She got her own series. She's been the most popular of these 5 symbiotes that are introduced.
Gotcha.
Now she's like, I am in trouble. And she basically asks for evacuation, tosses someone, and gets away. So Spidey's coming up after him. We then find out, turns out Trace found out about one of the undergrounders, and now he knows what's down there. And part of the thing he believes is he thinks there's gold that got sunk down there back in 1906. Come here, girl. Ruby, come. I am so sorry, folks. But yeah, so Peter snuck his way down there. All right, excuse me, huh? I seem to be lost. Could you tell me where your living alien costume department is? Again, I love quippy Spidey like that.
I know.
But yeah,
like
at the same moment, Eddie and Venom is actually forced and separated from Eddie, right down to his finger. Bink. And oh dear. Plus, the guy claims that Eddie is very much dead. But yeah, look at these. Just look at those.
Wow. I think this was the start of like the multiple symbiotes, wasn't it?
Yes. After Carnage, this was the first time when we started getting them, and they came up with 5 right off the bat. Now, of course, the guy keeps claiming Eddie's dead. Of course, Spidey's basically saying, like, look, Drake, I've gone up against Venom a lot, and he's not that easy to kill. So if you don't mind, I'll reserve judgment till I can see for it myself. Actually, I rather do mind. Mr. Drake, I found a pulse. It's faint but clear. Apparently, and he just passed out. Told ya! Yeah. Whoop! That is so Peter, right? Told you. Yeah. Which then leads to them attacking. Venom? 5 Venoms? Oh dear. The fact that one there in the front looks like Carnage, doesn't he?
He does, like a yellow Carnage.
Yep. Meanwhile, they're seeing Trace is getting ready for the explosives. And now they're realizing maybe we should have gotten rid of Brock in the first place. Now, of course, Eddie reveals that, his other was able to teach him to recover from such pain. And I love this line. No, sonic guns. Are those blasted things everywhere? And there's something you should know. Without my other alien form linked to my own metabolism, those frequencies don't hurt me at all. Gotcha! I love that. He basically pulled a gotcha. So yeah, they're fighting. Spidey remembers about Carnage, and he soon realizes, oh great, 5 enemies with the power of Venom and Carnage. Maybe I should have stayed in New York. But he also realizes he has more experience than any of them. But also, we will find out one of them is able to shoot out acid.
Interesting.
Oh, but Eddie shows up saying, I'm like, Eddie, don't. I must. They're still innocent and may yet be saved. Come to me, my children, and together we may right the wrongs done today. Come to me. That didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. Again, the comedy on this is perfect, isn't it?
It is hilarious.
Of course, yeah, they underground to find out. Great, we've just screwed the pooch. Eddie and Ben and Peter just used up two whole web cartridges to make that door. They grab the sonic guns and blast them. Turned out though, the Carnage-looking one hid behind the others. So they zap them. They run over there, release the Venom. Now forever we are Venom. Forever's a long time, creep. So he tells them to shoot to get the sound cage up. But instead, Peter shoots the gun that actually was done to rapidly mature them, which ended up pointing it towards decay. Eddie realizes, hey, we could use it on them. Peter says, what if it kills them? Eddie says, and Venom says, they haven't been bonded that long. It probably won't kill them. Probably won't. I'm not sure that's a good. We said we wouldn't kill you. We never said about rendering you unconscious. So yeah, they blast apart the symbiotes. They come back later. Everything's ready to blow up. They get out of there. They each get in separate methods. He gets on a ship. Eddie takes a truck, and it leads to the final confrontation. Okay, good. The other dog decided to lay down, so now she's quiet. It's not their final battle, but it might just be their greatest. So yeah, Venom shows up towards the head security guy, and well, the guy is no good against them. Makes his way into the security room, and nothing. And he tries to do up the laser. He just sends the symbiote right between it. I like this how Venom is pretty much unstoppable to any normal thug. So, all right.
Oh, that teeth.
Or you might not see tomorrow. Literally. So yeah, they find out about the gold bullion that was financed over there, and Trace found out that it landed in old San Francisco. So he's known this whole time. And they're ready to blow it all up. So Peter's trying to figure out where Venom is, sees him ready to attack, stops him. Venom then, wraps him up so he'll actually listen and begs for his help. Right.
Interesting.
Right. Better idea. How about letting the city sleep in today? Matter of fact, I insist. So do we. And oh boy, those guys again. Oh, but now here's the case where Peter, he rips up the arm, ends up blasting another one in the face, and then led to another one getting cut in half. So three birds with one stone. They're watching then as Venom is saving them, stopping them. Trace is panicking, runs inside. A fire starts up. Of course, Venom realizes he's gonna go press the button. Peter's too distracted. Spidey's too distracted, so he realizes, even if it risks killing myself, I'm going to get him out of there. And sure enough, he does, nearly killing himself. And sorry, friend, but to paraphrase my unlikely partner, I don't have time for this. Obviously, he knocked him out. Gee, you went into the flames just to get Trace. But the agony, how could you put yourself through something like that? Would you have done any less? Well, no. And then Eddie leaves, and Peter realizes, okay, I guess I can trust him. That was the whole point of this endeavor, was for him to see if he really should trust Eddie or not. That's what he tells MJ. I'll be heading home. And turns out the people, undergrounders, decide to do another vote. And turned out the gold bullion wasn't underground. Or it was, but it wasn't in old San Francisco. So, yeah. So they went down there and they've made a vote saying, we would like you to stay here with us. To which he basically said, yeah, you have a protector in Venom. How was that for its first mini?
It wasn't bad. I liked the introduction of the symbiotes. Everything seemed like though they were throwing a lot in there.
They did.
Oh.
They did. It felt like. Sorry.
I said I was wishing they kind of like just focused on like maybe one plot for a mini.
Exactly. Instead, but again, you could so tell that Michelini didn't really know what to do, did he?
No.
And again, he was told, make Venom an anti-hero. Okay. I mean, it's obvious. Give the creator the guy to get it started. And again, it did introduce some ideas, but then he introduced the new symbiotes, and then he kills them. It's like, what?
It's like
now the artwork was great, regardless,
yes.
for both Bagley and Lim. Spidey was good, although he wasn't superfluous, but at the same time, he was a bit of a drag.
Yeah, and him suddenly being there within 2 seconds from New York to San Francisco was a little jarring.
Yeah, and the stuff was Eddie's dad felt like
kind of like it was shoehorned in there. Like I kept saying, why would he have to go to his dad for information? What kind of information is he trying to get? I was like, I don't think this scenario calls for that.
And the funny thing is, they ended up using a similar situation for Norman Osborn. His wife died giving birth to Harry.
Yeah. I think
like,
everybody
really?
loses their mom or something at some point in comics.
Yeah, I mean, again, I did find it was interesting. It would explain why Eddie tries too hard and why he's a bit socially stunted.
Yes.
It would explain a lot because he was just trying to get his dad's attention. So, of course, his mind's going to start getting this warped sense of what's right and wrong.
And it doesn't want to disappoint. Well, that was the whole thing with the newspaper. The minute he found out he had been a hoax,
now, granted,
he just totally cut off ties.
Exactly, and that gave him more reason to hate Peter because of you, my dad didn't want to talk to me after everything I did. One screw up because of Spider-Man. Actually,
nothing's ever his fault.
That's true. Nothing's ever his fault. He should have checked. Now, to be fair, a later mini would reveal that it turns out the other guy who was the hoaxer actually does become a sin eater.
Ah.
Just not the original one.
Interesting.
And it was revealed the reason why he wasn't just a serial confessor. It turns out he actually lived right next door to the original Sin Eater. So he would hear it at night and he convinced himself he was. So that does absolve Eddie a bit more of it, wouldn't you say? Like the guy was so convinced. That's the reason why he knew stuff that the other guy knew, because he was literally right next door to the guy.
Convenient.
Very convenient. But, I mean, again, at least it made some sense, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the Undergrounders, it turns out that they don't do that much with it going forward, but at least it made some sense because of where else is Eddie to go, right?
Yeah, I kind of felt like they dropped that plot line real quick.
I lost myself.
I know, I was like to say, Robert?
Hold on.
There you are.
I'm right here. Just my connection's acting up.
Yeah.
Repeat it again.
I said, they kind of dropped
about the Underground. Yep.
They dropped that plot line real quick.
They did until the end.
Yeah.
Again.
I think I'm losing Robert again.
I say my favorite had to be the Life Foundation. The 5 city was. Did you lose me again?
I was about to say.
Hello,
there
hello.
you are. There you are.
Did you lose me?
Yes, yes.
Ah, geez. Hold on. Let me check to see if any internet's going on my laptop or not. Nope. Weird. Let me.
Dog agrees.
Yep. But like I said, going forward, all the others will be 3-issue miniseries going forward. Which I think in this one recording session we can get one more out of this. That's just 3 issues.
Yeah.
But so next one would be Venom Funeral Pyre, written by Carl Potts, and gives us Venom and Punisher.
Oh, nice. I think I'm losing you again.
Just a sec. Okay, am I back?
You're back.
All right.
Maybe we should try next time.
Maybe. Hold on. Let me exit a few other things. Hold on. Yeah, usually I'm not. My internet doesn't go this bad. I don't get what's going on, so I'm just exiting a few other things. The weird thing is, my internet on my laptop is perfectly fine. So what's the issue here?
I don't know. Maybe it's the house Wi-Fi.
Maybe. Hold on. Let me move my laptop a bit further and closer. I think that's why.
Okay.
Hold on. Just a moment. But yeah, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.